And as soon as they see that notification.
Yeah.
They hit that notification bell.
Hit that notification bell.
Someone's texting. Live.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi. Are we live? Wow, that's exciting. I can,
Thank you.
I can
Oh.
hear that.
Make it silent.
There you go.
Hey, because we're professionals.
That's exactly what we are. We look more professional today, but
Oh no,
we...
you guys caught me. Oh wait, I can't put that there. Ah, okay. Well then.
How are we doing, everyone? Hi,
guys.
Edward Sanchez Productions.
What's up, man? Yeah, welcome to Superhero News Network. And today's episode, I'm extremely, I'm excited, but to be honest,
Afraid.
I'm really anxious.
Yes.
Just because we are going to be doing MCU X-Men Fancast, and X-Men are like everything to me. They're like literally like my step one to becoming a nerd.
Aw.
And so it's
That's so
like
cute.
I've literally been reading them since I was like 5 years old. I was like, you know how like when you're learning to read, they're like you should really go to the library and pick out more difficult books. So
And then
that
you're
way-
like, comics.
I literally was just picking up comics, and I'm
Yeah.
old enough, guys, that I was buying my comics from convenience stores. I was going to 7-Eleven.
Convenience stores.
Yeah, I was going to 7-Eleven. I was going to Walgreens, like back when you could actually buy comic book stands on actual like newsstands.
Yeah. I used to buy like all the like Archie, like Betty and Veronica
Yeah,
digest. That's what I would
totally.
buy from the convenience stores.
What and if you're not reading those, like you're just missing out on a lot of like good wholesome entertainment. But anyways, back to X-Men. Yeah. So Jezer, how do you want us to do this? You just want
Yeah.
us to jump into our fan cast, or you want us to talk about Dark Phoenix, or what do you want us to do?
We d-
You're the producer, man. You tell us.
Were you guys happy with the way that the X-Men were executed?
No.
No.
God,
I mean,
no.
like to be fair, I'm not like an X-Men person. I've watched like the X-Men like 90s,
Yes.
show.
Well, here's the thing about that. If you watch the animated series with the cartoon, you pretty much have a awesome like Cliff Notes version of the
Right.
comic books. Like they are, to my knowledge, the most faithful adaptation of any comic book. So if you are familiar with that, if you picked up a comic book from like that same time, you're gonna be like, I know all this.
I know this, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I started with, when Marvel relaunched like 3,000 times. So whatever it's like the recent-ish relaunch, like 2016-ish.
Oh, I don't know what the 2016
As like when I
was.
started reading X-Men. Like when they did, actually no, it's when they did X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
When they did that, that's when I started reading those comics. So I read
that's
through
like
those.
1990s Jim Lee, X-Men Volume 2. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the 2000s was Ultimate X-Men, which was just same characters, clean slates, and some minor changes to the characterizations, which was kind of cool. Like, for example, Colossus was an out homosexual, so that was nice because
Oh.
it was like, wow, representation.
Wow.
Yeah, which makes sense because come on, Peter, like all those muscles and like.
And
I mean, I'm just saying, you look like a gym bunny. But anyways, I don't want to stereotype. I'm
yeah, right?
sorry,
You know,
but
maybe
yeah.
he just likes the gym.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, your boy looks like a gym bunny.
Daniel looks offended.
Why? Because you're offended by muscles? Get out of here, sir.
I'm offended that you would say because he looks like a gym rat.
He looks like a gym bunny.
Well, is there a difference between a gym rat and a gym bunny?
Well, that's implying immediately that he's a narcissist.
Uh,
How dare you?
No,
Xavier is not a
no, those are
narcissist.
hard-earned farm muscles.
Yeah,
That-
he's doing it to save
yes.
the world.
Because of that,
Well,
he-
actually, no.
because of that,
In
he's
the
gay?
Ultimate comic book, he wasn't even on the farm anymore. He was an enforcer for the Russian mafia.
Oh, wow.
Which was really nice. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So I'm sorry, you were saying.
Oh, no, I don't know what I was saying.
You were saying that that's how you got.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably saying that I haven't read that much. I've only
Okay.
read like the newer,
and
some
then
of the newer
talking about
stuff.
how you thought about the X franchise, the X-Men films.
Oh yeah, right. though I don't have the well-versed knowledge that you do, I did feel like they fell short in many ways. Obviously, the best part maybe was like the original 3 before we went to Origins. Even though even then, like, Last Stand was something.
Yeah. For me, X-Men 1, and Bryan Singer even says this on the commentary, so I felt like, all right, at least we're on the same page here. He says that he really did feel like that first X-Men film was making half a movie because half of it is just straight exposition, which is true.
Right.
It's a lot of walking and talking. It's a lot of like Aaron Sorkin, the West Wing, just like, and here at the X-Mansion, we do this, that, and the other. And Magneto and his Brotherhood of Evil. And it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
So I totally did feel that watching the movie, but I was like, this is back in 2000. It was like, this is okay, a good start. It's a good start.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, it really is kind of like the birth of like the modern day superhero film.
Because that and Spider-Man were, a lot of people like to spring back even farther back, but I'm like, if we're talking about the birth of like what we know as like the superhero genre, Raimi Spider-Man and Bryan Singer X-Men 2000, like those are really the two that just were like, oh, this may not be a complete total waste of time to do this. Yeah.
And hi, Migdalia.
Hey, Miggy! Thanks for not being here.
Thanks for not being here.
Why don't you love us?
Thanks for judging us from afar.
I know. She doesn't love us. It's okay. We still love you. Anyways. But yeah, so first movie, all right, like, okay.
Yeah.
You tried.
It was
you did good.
Yeah, it was like, all right.
X2, in my mind, is still the best.
Yes.
Of the actual X-Men, not the Deadpool or not the
Logan. Yeah. The best not Logan
X-Men. Just because it was like that
Mm-hmm.
intro scene with Nightcrawler, still in my mind, the best intro scene of any movie. I haven't seen anything else that has like made me feel like, holy shit. Like I understand what's happening. I understand that like the threat level is like now exponentially more than it was in the previous movie.
Right.
So it was awesome. It was great. There were a lot of just elements that finally came together that made me feel like we actually got to see Wolverine actually rage out a little bit, which was nice. He actually buried some claws in some dude's chest. I was like, yes, that's exactly what needs to happen. Not just some like random like paper scratches. Like, thank you. X3 is the absolute bottom of my list.
Yeah.
Last Stand is
it's so
bottom
bad.
of my list. It is the worst of the X-Men movies.
Oh my god. Is someone saying it's the best? Is that
Who said that? Get out of here.
It's just there's just so much like it's like 2 or 3 movies just like put together for no reason.
So,
You know who I am?
no, oh my god. Listen, here's what happened. I can't remember who the first original director was. Who was it? Do you remember who the guy that
For
was
X3?
originally?
It was supposed to be Bryan Singer.
No. No. It was somebody else.
And then
Sorry.
And then it was Brett.
Brett who?
Brett Ratner?
No, there was somebody in between
All right, I'm
Singer
looking.
and Brett Ratner. But basically, the guy who was supposed to sign on and direct and was signed on and was totally on board for this.
Matthew Vaughn.
I don't think so, but maybe, I don't know. I'm sure it's on.
Keep speaking the words. I will
But
be
anyways,
looking.
that guy pulled out. They had 8 weeks left to find somebody. Shut up, Jezzer. That guy, because of personal reasons that I still am unclear about, but he was like personal reasons. He released the whole thing. Matthew Vaughn. All right, Matthew
Vaughn.
said,
Oh, yeah, Matthew Vaughn,
I can't
yeah.
do this due to personal reasons, and so he was gone. They had 8 weeks before shooting was supposed to start. And they were just like, who's available, guys? And who's willing to direct an X-Men movie?
Oh, my God.
Brett Ratner, for all the criticisms that we can launch at him, for all the other reasons that he's, a questionable fucking human being.
Yeah.
At least he was like, I like the X-Men, so he stepped in.
Wow.
But honestly, from all reports that I've ever read, they're like, yeah, pretty much the studio just kind of stepped in just because they were like trying to make a movie happen on time. They were trying to go ahead and just keep on schedule. So they just literally, it was movie by committee. That's why you have a lot of just like really unnecessary characters in there. It's like Psylocke is in there, but Psylocke is just a girl who can melt from the walls, and she's Psylocke because she has purple fucking hair.
Yeah.
Callisto is there.
Oh my God.
And apparently, I never knew this, but the leader of the Morlocks apparently can fucking like sense other mutants and actually sense how. Like, when is that ever a thing? First off, that's not Callisto. Then why
Right.
are you actually naming these people? And there's like multiple people that are like, names were just being thrown out, and they were just like, yeah, Spike. That. All right, sure. You had some spikes and you had some quill. I don't think you're actually supposed to be Spike though.
His name
Yeah.
was Quill in the movie.
Is it? Because there
Quill.
were a lot of different. Yeah, it's just. But it's
I
just
sometimes
like, again,
sometimes you really do need to just push it back. It's just
Juggernaut
better
is
to not
there.
be on schedule sometimes.
because it was a meme. Juggernaut literally got into that movie because of a meme. And I am all about fan service, but when fan service literally is just there just because you're there for a cheap 2-second joke, and granted, it got a laugh whenever Vinnie Jones is like, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch," and it's like, okay, cute. But after that, it was like, oh,
It
that-
didn't serve a purpose.
No, not at all. And in my opinion, the only good thing that came out of that movie is Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Just
Yes,
because
Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
It was really hard to not pretty much drop him back into my Fancast. Just because I tried to like put some limitations on him myself, probably unnecessarily so, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right, because like at the end of the day, they're not going to use our fan cast, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
I know. Yeah. So, and then after that was First Class.
First Class, and Matthew Vaughn got to
Yes.
do First
Yes.
Class after not doing Last
And
Stand.
I do want to say this. I do think those First Class movies, those are very decent movies, and some of them are just straight up good, and some of them are fucking actually great. As X-Men movies, though, especially that first one where it's like First Class,
Yeah,
and it has nothing to do with the original,
Right, it's just
five
called-
original.
yeah.
It's like that was a really tough hurdle for me to get over.
It's kind of like the DC TV crossovers when they're named after big DC Comics events and then
Yeah.
have absolutely nothing to do with
they
them.
have nothing to do. It's just like in name.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
a
First
name,
Class.
'cause
Like,
we
that sounds like a good
can.
name. That sounds good. We're
And
gonna use
it's
that
like-
one. But I do like it as a film. I do.
I think it works in a lot of different ways. Kevin Bacon as a villain, I'm never going to be upset about. I think Michael Fassbender is amazing.
Yes, I love his Magneto.
I like James
yeah.
McAvoy.
And I love like the scenes that we got, taking us back to his origin.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, which I did because those are brutal. Those
Yeah.
were even more brutal than the origin scenes that we got from the original trilogy, which I didn't think was possible. But and this is this is Jennifer Lawrence before she became J-Law, before she became, critical darling,
Yeah.
Oscar darling, just like before she just blew up into Jennifer fucking Lawrence. And she's really likable, but again, it's like I watch that movie and I'm like, God, they really don't like you guys because these are the lines that they're giving you to read. Like, this is that whole mutant proud thing. I was not on board with that because listen, there's a lot of preaching in the X-Men comics. There's a lot of like monologuing and whatnot, but I don't remember them ever being that cheesy. And those movies, some of those lines, they get really fucking cheesy.
It's really it's hard to walk the line between like being an allegory and then kind of beating people over the head with
Mutant
your
and Proud
allegory.
is literally just
Yeah.
beat, and it's like,
Yeah, like
Okay.
they have a mutant pride parade.
And
They're
and then I do want to say this, that the X franchise, more than anybody else, just because of the sheer number of people that have to be in an X-Men movie, there is such a rampant epidemic of miscasting in these movies. Halle Berry, Nicholas Hoult. Like, Nicholas Hoult is great. Like, I love him. Like, he's probably one of my favorite parts of Mad Max Fury Road. He's not Hank McCoy. He looks like Scott Summers. He literally looks like a prepubescent.
He would have been a much better
He would have been great.
Scott Summers
He would have
than
been
the one we
great.
got.
And yeah, and then also messing with the time. And then after that point, after First Class, they really got hooked on this whole like decade gimmick thing where it was like, now look at us in the 70s because disco, and now look at us in the 80s because malls.
Because
And now-
malls.
and it's like,
Is that what it was? Is that what...
they literally took these kids to the fucking mall just so that way they could be in an arcade because arcades don't exist anymore. And then they had them coming out of the theater. What was it? Jedi that they were watching?
Yeah,
Return of the
yeah.
Jedi? Yeah, just so that way they could like shoehorn these fucking
like references, just be not even relevant, but
don't need it.
Yeah.
And then
Pop
the other
culture.
thing that happened because of it is like they were like jumping ahead. They're like 10 years later. Meanwhile, Michael Fassbender doesn't fucking age.
Right.
He hasn't aged since his first movie was 300. And I watched that movie and I'm like, you're just,
I didn't realize he was in 300.
he's in 300. He's
Oh my
really
God.
hot with the 300 Spartan abs. Yeah. But it's just, a lot of those movies became really gimmicky. I don't know if that was Matthew Vaughn's direction or if that was just the studio kind of just taking the wrong
He only
lessons.
directed. Did he only direct First Class?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he still stay on as producer?
No,
Or
he
is
got
that
booted.
in May?
In fact, he was complaining about how he was like the only person
Okay, good.
that didn't have his name on anything after
Sweet.
the first movie.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Those movies, I kind of like had to remove myself from it, and it just was like, from a very clinical point of view of just like, these are good, decent movies. These are well made. They're, largely, much better than what we got beforehand.
Yeah.
And as long as it wasn't as bad as X3, which by the way, nothing was.
Nothing was?
I
You'd say even Apocalypse is not worse than X3?
No, because I don't even think Apocalypse. Because you want to know why? Because even though I liked the Sophie Turner Phoenix moment, even though we come to realize it's not Sophie Turner as Phoenix. I like Oscar Isaac in that movie. I like the look of Olivia Munn as Psylocke, even though she's not Psylocke in that movie. She's just a chick with a sword.
So they really just haven't done Psylocke right yet.
They haven't. They haven't done a lot of these characters right, in my opinion. I think there's moves towards the right direction, and I think that it's evident that somebody made an intentional choice, which I can at least respect, as opposed to what happens in X3, which is just a lot of like, hey, Ben Foster, you're an actor, right? You can play Warren Worthington III. Only the most beautiful, gorgeous.
That was him as Angel
man.
was so strange.
It was
so
just-
so unnecessary.
Like, literally, Warren Worthington III is supposed to be Armie Hammer.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, unless we get Armie Hammer to play that guy, like, there's literally going to be no other reason to have anybody else play that person.
It's just Armie
Ben
Hammer.
Foster
Only when
is
he
like
flips
what,
over.
like 5'8". He
5'8".
always looks like he's Ben Foster. Though.
Yeah, he's
like,
great.
He's a really great actor,
but he definitely
like,
isn't. He definitely isn't Angel.
Again, miscasting.
Yeah.
Just horrible miscasting. But yeah. But anyways. Yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, right. Now that
Let's
we've
do this.
now that we've
Why don't we just beat the and as always, Logan is number one. Logan is amazing. Deadpool is also awesome and amazing.
Oh, okay, yes.
Deadpool 2 to a lesser degree, but I could still like.
I put Deadpool 2 like a
funsies.
couple paces back just because I didn't like.
I finally do have a ranking of all the X-Men.
Oh,
films.
you did?
Yeah.
I made the ranking for the last one and then we didn't do it and I don't know if I deleted it or forgot about it.
Did you delete it?
But I'm gonna find
Okay,
out.
well here's mine real quick.
Okay,
Number
tell it.
one.
We're gonna go character by character. So
Okay, but hang on, I wanted to do my list real quick
your list for what?
for the.
her ranking.
Yeah.
Her movies. Her
So
movies.
just-
okay.
yeah.
Okay, I've got it. I've got my
Okay.
list too.
1 through 12. Here we go. Logan.
Okay.
At number 2, Deadpool.
Yep.
Number 3, X2.
Yep.
Number 4 is Days of Future Past.
Okay.
Number 5 is the first X-Men movie.
Mm.
6 is First Class. That really is middle of the pack for me.
Mm-hmm.
7 is Deadpool 2. Apocalypse is at number 8.
Whoa!
I know.
You're crazy.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I forgive you.
Number 9 is Dark Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Just purely because of Sophie Turner. She's great in that movie.
She is good.
10 is the Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Wolverine went to Japan for all of like 2 seconds? And
Yes,
had, like,
I do remember
apparently
that.
A monumental, life-changing experience.
That was never brought up again.
Yeah. And number 11, Origins Wolverine. And of course, dead last, The Last Stand.
Nice. See, my Last Stand one is Apocalypse.
Last Stand is the best movie ever.
Shut your
I'm like 12 Apocalypse, 11 Origins Wolverine, 10 Last Stand, 9 Dark Phoenix, 8 The Wolverine, 7 Deadpool 2,
Okay.
First Class is 6. Then it basically just switched X2 and Days of Your Past, and the rest are
Yeah.
the same as you. So
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all in agreement of like,
of the best, like
yeah. And at the end of the day, I honestly feel like if we're not talking about like the bottom 3 or 4, even those movies are like,
yeah.
I don't feel like I want to hurt myself afterwards, but like, yeah. But anyways, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
So moving
now
on
we are
to
going
Fancast.
to actually Fancast.
Let's do it.
All right. First up is Magneto.
Magneto. Drum roll.
What we're gonna do is you're each gonna name yours,
Okay.
and then we'll do a little vote in the chat to see.
Oh no. Voting. Horrible.
Aw.
I don't like that
So
game.
who wants to name theirs first?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
go first.
I do want to start this off by saying it was really important to me that the people I picked, there was definitely different age levels and brackets happening. 'Cause the one thing I don't enjoy about the X-Men films is like, here are the X-Men. They're all between the ages of 20 to 28. And I don't like that.
Okay.
I want them all to look like they're of different ages.
Yeah.
Like they all have different life experiences. They've all been on the team or been in this life for an extended period of time. And I definitely want them to feel like there is a considerable age difference between certain characters and certain groupings, okay? So,
All right.
Magneto, for me, I picked Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
I picked
All right.
Gary Oldman just because I feel like Gary Oldman is still like, he's one of our elder statesmen. He's entered that stage of his acting career where he is a distinguished actor.
Yes, he is
been nominated for numerous awards. But if I look at Gary Oldman, I'm like, you can still fuck shit up.
Yes.
I'm not trying to piss you off. I still want my Magneto, and I love Ian McKellen, but the one thing I didn't really love about Ian McKellen is that he literally was just walking through the scene of a crime or literally sitting in his boardroom, kind of just looking menacing. I want my Magneto to be a boots on the ground kind of guy.
Right.
I want him to feel like he's still there to F shit up. I still want him to feel like he's out there and that he is someone to be feared.
Right.
So I want someone who's definitely older, but not so old in which I feel like, oh, look at you. Hi, Grandpa. Like, you know.
Right. So you don't want to go back to the original movies, the first
No,
one.
and I love Ian McKellen, and I definitely think that there's a lot in his performance that definitely makes me feel like, okay, yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But I want my Magneto to just be a little bit more physically threatening.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually had pretty much the same reasoning as you, except maybe not, I don't know, age. I did try to do the age brackets as well, but I don't know that mine is as old as yours. Then again, I'm really bad at telling how old white people are. But I did also just want to be like, I want, my Magneto to be Jewish, right? So I was like, oh, what are the Jewish guys? And then I went through the list. So mine is Jason Isaacs.
Oh, yeah.
Because it also looks like he could fuck shit up, basically.
Yes, definitely.
Has an imposing, menacing presence.
Yeah.
But also has like that, you can also play the softer side when needed.
Yes.
And these are our dudes. Look, see, it's very...
No, and I 100%...
Well, I feel like we were going for the same.
I wouldn't be mad about either one of those. And there's a lot of actors that when I was looking through this, because the great thing about doing this little exercise is that you can go online and Google actors who should play whatever character.
Yeah, and then you can see what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, and a lot of people were kind of like, first off, they're just like, no, Ian McKellen, he's perfect. And they're like, agreed.
But one day,
one
day
it's
he
gonna
will leave
happen.
us.
And I think, So there are a lot of actors out there that I'm like, Magneto is the kind of role that any number of people could pull off.
Yeah.
Just
Place your
because
votes.
There's a lot of
feel free to
talented
vote.
actors out there.
Or feel free to say everyone wins participation, A for effort.
No such thing as participation awards. It's you win or you lose.
I'm not going to be mad about either one of these.
Milk thinks that there's a website for that.
You want to go on to the next one?
Yeah, let's
Sure.
The next one will have to be Xavier.
go.
Xavier.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Okay, I was like, I want this man in the MCU. He is bald, but he looks good being bald. So, Mark Strong. I'm done. That's it. I don't have long explanations.
Okay. To me, Mark Strong is one of those guys that never ages. So that's the only reason why I didn't go with him, because I'm like, he's going to be great if you need someone to play a character for 10, 15 years like Patrick Stewart did. So if that's what Marvel is going to try to do, then yeah, absolutely. You pick Mark Strong. You pick a guy who's going to be just looking the fucking same until he dies. Not me. I wanted an Xavier that was definitely the oldest of the crew.
Okay.
And definitely even looks older than Magneto, just because the way in which the mutations affect their bodies is much different. You picked, I gave you two choices for Xavier.
Yeah, pick the wrong one.
You picked the wrong one.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I picked Ralph Fiennes just because the internet was like, Ralph Fiennes would be great. And there's a lot of photos with Ralph Fiennes. I guess he shaved his head for a role or maybe just for comfort. I'm not really sure. He looks great with a bald head. And I'm like, Ralph Fiennes could act the fuck out of Charles Xavier, 100%. Though, me personally, who I would love to see do this is Donald Sutherland.
Oh, that would work for having him be like the
Older
oldest
and be
and
the
in
oldest.
and in control.
And not only
the
that,
oldest and in
but a
control.
lot of people forget that Charles is supposed to be American. He's not supposed to be British, but we all forgot that because Patrick Stewart is so amazing and wonderful that we just went ahead and we literally picked James McAvoy and
Also,
we're like,
listen,
do a British accent.
exactly.
sir.
I mean, also, Charles Xavier is just like a dick, like he's like dick in a British way. He's like a British kind of dick.
Yeah.
So
He's supposed to be just
all
this
right.
sort of like old money kind of guy, old money philanthropist. I think Donald Sutherland could be great, especially. But honestly, I don't know how much acting Donald is doing these days. I don't know what his health is doing, and that's the only reason why I would probably pick Ralph Fiennes over Donald Sutherland.
So he lasts longer.
Just a little. But here's the thing: I don't need my Charles Xavier to be in the franchise for the entirety of it. In fact, I kind of want him to be a two and done kind of guy. I want there to be a movie that deals with the loss of Charles Xavier. I want them to deal with the fact that Charles Xavier is now a namesake of the school rather than somebody who's actually wandering the halls and making questionable choices about creating a team of teenage super soldiers. But I would love Donald Sutherland. I need somebody with that kind of gravitas, and I need somebody with an amazing voice. Yeah, you're never going to be able to replace Patrick Stewart. So
they
I'm
liked
not going...
Jason for Magneto.
Yay! But yeah, I love Donald Sutherland. But if Ralph Fiennes were, I have a feeling that people are going to, if Kevin Feige has anybody on the phone, I'd put money on Ralph Fiennes. Yeah. So that's why
probably more
sent
so
you...
than Donald Sutherland. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I gave you two choices.
Magdalia says we both lose for not choosing Denzel Washington as Magneto. That's, fair. But also, literally one reason why I didn't pick Cranston, because I had Cranston on my list, but every photo I found of him bald was from Breaking Bad. And I was like, you can't buy Bryan,
Here's the thing.
him as...
Bryan Cranston reads and sounds, his voice is far too old man crotchety. Get off my lawn. He's literally a get off my lawn kind of guy. Magneto and Charles are not, they're not a get off my lawn kind of guy. I think Cranston can be horrifying. Yeah. It can be absolutely terrifying. I think there's probably a role somewhere in the MCU for him, but not Magneto. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Next up, let's do...
Storm.
Ooh. All right. Would you like to go first for your Storm?
Any number of actresses could play Storm. And that's because Hollywood has an abundance of talented Black women that are starving for this kind of work and starving for like a major franchise like this. I picked, however, Kiki Layne.
Oh my God!
Kiki Layne, people might best know from If Beale Street Could Talk.
Yes, and she was so good in that.
Yes. I picked her, though, not based upon her performance, but based upon her passion.
Accent?
No, her passion. She has been actively telling people, like, I want to play Storm.
Yeah. She's definitely been vying for it. I know she got Alex Shipp a little angry about this, which is ridiculous.
Alex Shipp, go sit down, collect her residuals, and just find the next thing, sweetie. I'm so sorry, but I'm not. To me, especially on the roster that Jezer gave us is the 1990s X-Men. It's a very white team.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of people of color on this team. So if we're going to go by this team that Jezer picked, I would need someone in the MCU to be a voice for themselves, to be an advocate for themselves. Not only for themselves.
My photo, the superior photo. Okay. I also picked Kiki Layne. So that's why.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. So we both win. Ta-da.
Yes. There's no other choice. And actually, there's many choices. Like we said, because there's many dark-skinned actresses don't get an opportunity to be in films like this.
Especially if you start expanding the reach beyond American actresses, African actresses, because Storm is supposed to be American. She's born in New York, and then she moves to Kenya when she's very, very young. And she pretty much lives there until Charles, basically recruits her when she's in her late teens, early 20s, let's say early 20s. So it's 20 years of growing up with an African accent. So I think there's a lot of actresses that would put in the work, like Kiki Layne, who obviously would advocate. But what I love about Kiki Layne is she's just like, this is who I looked up to. This is who I loved. And I never saw anybody else who looked like me. And damn it, she was just a perfect role model for somebody, who's dark-skinned, who wanted to be, in a position of authority. And I think she would be the kind of person that if there's some fucking foolishness in that script, she would be like, absolutely fucking not. No. I'll be in my fucking trailer until you fix it.
But she also is a very talented actress.
She is.
So if you guys have not seen If Beale Street Could Talk, you should definitely watch it and see her performance.
Okay, how about Jean Grey?
Oh, Jean Grey. Okay.
You want to go first?
Sure. Okay. So, a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, Jessica Chastain should be Jean Grey," and I was like, but
No, because for me, it's because again the age difference. I need someone who appears to be a bit older than the others,
Right.
Like Storm, like the other, so I need someone who reads as old as I'm going to make Scott. So somebody who's definitely in their later 30s, early 40s, who has more of a maternal vibe.
Yeah.
So and of course Bryce Dallas Howard can act the fuck.
yes,
out of
and she is a
anything.
great
Yes.
she can do any accent. So basically,
Yeah.
step up
Well,
from.
she just needs to have
Yeah.
an American accent.
Exactly.
So we're good. Yeah. No. Oh, yay.
Then let's go to
Where's-
her counterpart.
Did we get the picture
Cyclops.
for her? Oh, I just didn't look at it.
Yeah, me neither.
So sad. She looked very pretty.
Yes.
Okay, Cyclops. So there you go. You were speaking of.
Yeah. I picked Patrick Wilson.
Oh, okay. Nice,
I
nice,
picked Patrick
nice.
Wilson. This is one of my very few. I don't think I have anybody else who's actively in the DCEU, but Patrick Wilson just played Ocean Master
Yes, he
in
did.
Aquaman. He was the villain, and he was. I think he's constantly just underrated by Hollywood.
Yeah.
I need someone with an authoritative forehead. I need
An
someone.
authoritative forehead?
I need someone who can handle the weight of that visor. I need someone who's obviously old enough to kind of be the paternal
Yeah.
authority figure. And I also need him to look a little. I need him to be a little bit of a Gap model. I need him to be
Gap
much more
model.
refined
Yeah.
than some of the others, the more rough around the edges characters, maybe like Wolverine.
Right.
So I think Patrick Wilson is great. I think he could definitely pull it off. And if it's not going to be Patrick Wilson, it needs to be somebody like him.
Okay. I also wanted someone who looked more refined. I was just like, who's like someone that I just find like sexy and also, like you said, paternal, like someone that is like a little older than the other kids, but at the same time would be a good fit for Bryce Dallas Howard or for Jean Grey. But I went Michael Ealy. So
How dare you hide those eyes?
Oh.
I know, but that's why, the eyes,
Oh.
so that when you see them, they're
Yes.
violent
And I
but
do
beautiful.
want to point out that if I gave myself a lot of limitations, and I was like, let's not. You could literally recast any. Oh, I shouldn't say any, but a lot of these characters you could recast in any number of ways.
Right.
In terms of their race, their cultural background, et cetera, et cetera. I kind of stuck to the safe choice of just
Yeah, but,
traditional. But I think
I see the forehead. I see the authoritative
I'm
forehead.
saying, dude, if you cover that up with just the visor, you still got a significant amount of forehead to work with, okay?
That's not enough.
It's not enough.
Eyes, come on.
No, I think Michael Ealy, and I think there's any number of other actors who are of a different racial and cultural background that can definitely play Scott. Scott's racial background is never an issue. Like, it's never
Right.
brought up as like a significant point of his background. So yeah, 100%. And I think if they're also going to be bringing this into, I don't think this is going to be a thing where it's like X-Men circa 1997.
Right.
Like, no, this is going to be
Like present
in the
day,
same present
yeah.
day. So I don't think we're going to have to be wrestling with the same sort of like racial and like,
Right. Not the same restrictions.
yeah,
For sure.
just because it's like if you cast Cyclops as a black man in the 60s, that's a little bit different than if you're just casting him as a black
Yeah,
man
I
in
think-
2019.
I think there may be audio visual issues, friends in the chat. I just don't know what they are.
Darth Baca says the audio is off.
Yeah. And so does the Blur and Migdalia.
Oh no.
No, I think they just mean like it's not synced up, maybe. Or maybe they don't mean that. I don't know.
Somebody explain to us.
Tell us
you're
what you
hearing.
mean.
What are you saying?
Use your words. They're not in sync, so it's that they're not in sync.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So
So next,
Yes.
next up. Feel free to tell us who your Cyclops would be, and
yeah,
Let's go with Beast.
yeah.
then Beast.
Go ahead.
Did I just not put I didn't put Gambit's name. Oh, God. Okay, anyway, moving on. Beast.
Yes.
I just want someone who looks like imposing or
Yes.
can be imposing, but also really like can be a nerd. So,
Yes.
so I went, and then again, I was still like, I'm gonna be fancy and put people from other ethnicities. So Gabriel Garcia Bernal would be my Beast. That's it. I don't have cool explanations. Like, please go with your cool explanation, Toni.
Okay. So for me, Beast is I think Beast, in terms of his physicality, if we're not getting Kelsey Grammer back, which
So
I
sad.
don't think we will be, which is a sad day,
Mm-hmm.
I think then we just have to mocap this performance.
Yeah.
But you still get a guy who can go ahead and be there.
Right.
Just in the same way that Mark Ruffalo is there whenever he's being Professor
Mm-hmm.
Hulk. He's still there. He's still on set. People are still reacting to him. It's still his performance.
Right.
I picked Joe Manganiello.
Oh, I love it.
I need a guy who's about as tall as what Hank should be, even though I think physically Joe is too small to play
But I
Hank.
feel like, yeah.
I mean,
almost
Hank,
anyone is too
listen,
small.
Hank McCoy is supposed to be the size of an offensive tackle. I needed a guy who would
Mm-hmm.
be able to just go from the set and just basically just drop into like the Dallas Cowboys practice. But I'm not going to get that, am I, Hollywood? No. Why? Because you pick people that are too little to be Hank fucking McCoy. But whatever. Anyways, I wouldn't want Joe.
Idris was already in the MCU,
Yeah.
Migdalia.
Get out of here. I'm driving over here right now, but you ain't here right now, are you? So whatever. Get out of here. Anyways, I don't want Joe's face in the movie. I don't.
Oh,
want,
like ever?
No, not at all.
I want changing back and forth like.
no,
Like Nicholas.
No, God damn it, no. Sorry, that makes
What is now? This is something I don't know. What is Beast's like origin? Was he born like a blue person, or was
No.
he once?
No,
a-
so Hank McCoy, just literally,
Yeah.
if you pull up X-Men #1,
Yeah.
which is that to me, my X-Men splash page, he's supposed to look like a human gorilla. He's supposed to just be fucking massive.
Okay.
He's supposed to just be broad and just at least 350 pounds of just pure fucking muscle. His feet and his hands are just supposed to be fucking massive and proportionate to him. So
Kyle Gass from Tenacious.
Hank being just a beastly looking guy,
Okay.
of course we're working in a time of dichotomies. They go ahead and make him the team genius.
Right.
He's a scientific genius.
I mean,
so,
it's like, yeah,
yeah.
it's like the Hulk, but in one
exactly.
person. Yeah.
But being a genius, you start to get a little full of yourself. And he thinks that, you know what, I can go ahead and cure myself of my mutation. So he basically goes ahead and experiments on himself.
Oh,
And
okay.
he further mutates himself. And that's what makes him get the blue skin and the blue fur. And
Okay, so before he was just beastly looking, but like
yeah.
a normal.
They did in first class.
Huh?
huh?
That's what they did in first class.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He had a bad
They had
experiment.
Cyclops.
What?
Because that was Cyclops. That was not Hank
know, I'm
McCoy.
saying-
Oh.
Absolutely not. Oh, Hank McCoy. Fuck out of here. That is not Hank McCoy. Get the hell out of here. Absolutely not. That is the one thing I'm like, you could keep Halle Berry in these movies. If I could just go back in time and just remove Nicholas Hoult and just recast him, yeah, just horrible. But anyways, yeah, I don't want the whole moving back and forth. I don't want the whole, like, even in Last Stand. Kelsey Grammer is blue the entire time. He's in that effing suit. He's in the makeup. And the only time you get to see his human skin is whenever he's around Caliban,
Yes,
who is the
yes.
mutant that can actually cancel out other people's powers. And that's because he's turning off the mutation.
Right. But it's still.
It's not Kelsey Grammer.
Right.
And that's what I want from this.
Yeah.
I want someone
You
who's
just want the
mocapped.
performance, yeah.
I need a big guy. He's supposed to be a big guy. He's supposed to be like just a shorter version of the Thing. He's supposed to be about like that kind of size, you know? He's not just supposed to be just this like, you know, human furry person. He's not supposed to look human. These Listen, I'm so done with these mutations that just basically look like different colored humans. Like, this isn't fucking Star Trek.
Have
okay?
you watched?
It's
Have
supposed
you
to be
seen
X-Men.
Doom Patrol?
I have not.
Because
no.
one thing, I mean, I guess it's like if you're never gonna like for the Beast, it's not necessarily gonna work because if you're never going to see him as
Sure.
a human version,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter. But what they did is they had two totally separate actors, like one person who does the body, like does the mocap
Oh,
performance.
so like a Lou Ferrigno kind of situation?
Yeah,
Oh.
for the I literally just forgot the names and I just watched it, but basically Robot Man. So there's like a person that is Robot Man,
Yeah.
and then Brendan Fraser is the performance, like first the voice performance, and also
Got
whenever
it.
you see like the flashbacks to him as a human.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I wouldn't mind that, and I wouldn't mind Joe making an appearance of
Yeah.
like, well, back in my days of fucking ridiculousness when I thought I could cure myself, then it's Joe's face. Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just need a guy who's like big enough that
Right.
the people around him can act around him, and that is gentle enough. Okay, there's a really great interview of him just nerding out with Stephen Colbert about Dungeons and Dragons on the Late Show, which is really awesome. And I was just like, yeah, you could be Hank. You could be a nerd.
Like, I
Absolute-
accept.
100%. If I give you some sciencey dialogue, yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Nice.
But he's supposed to be like this like huge fucking jock, and you're just like, how are you talking to me about fucking theoretical fit?
So Professor Hulk.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Anyways,
Let's go on to Mystique.
Mystique.
I went with Lauren Cohan. Cohan? How do you say her name? Cohan.
Oh, is that like the Walking Dead girl?
Maggie from Walking Dead.
Maggie Dead. Maggie Dead. Maggie Green.
I don't want a Jennifer Lawrence. I need somebody with a very like the reason why Rebecca Romijn worked so well as Mystique is because her face is so fucking like exaggerated. I mean, like there's cheekbones and just like a very strong jawline, and like no disrespect to Jennifer Lawrence, but she doesn't look like Rebecca Romijn Stamos. Nobody was ever gonna hire Jennifer Lawrence as a model, you know, and that's just because what people are looking for on a model is just very exaggerated bone structure. I think Lauren Cohan
Has exaggerated bone structure?
Yes, 100%. I think
Okay.
if you put her in the makeup, and I think even if you wanted to go ahead and show her as her, I think she looks different enough that you're not going to be like, oh, that's supposed to be Jennifer Lawrence.
Right.
Because that was the problem that I did have with Jennifer Lawrence at first. I'm like, you're supposed to be Rebecca Romijn because you went ahead and got another blonde.
Whiskey Cavalier is garbage.
Huh?
Oh, Whiskey Cavalier's garbage? Oh, yeah. And
that's a
I
shame.
chose
And
Charlize
she
Theron.
does, yeah, she,
Um,
again, yes.
for the-
Charlize.
yes.
That's a supermodel face. That is 100% a supermodel face.
But I do love Lauren Cohen. So
Yeah.
and that would, you know, get us away from Rebecca Romijn
Yes.
in Jennifer Lawrence trying to be Rebecca Romijn when she is not.
Yes.
But
But I do want to go ahead and say this: that if this were my dream roster, Mystique would be nowhere near
You
this.
don't want her anywhere
and
in
we
there?
would bring back Emma fucking Frost, and Emma Frost would be the main
Yes.
minion.
I did cast an Emma Frost.
Did
but
you?
Yes.
Who-
I would have cast Catherine Winnick from Vikings. I don't know if you've ever seen Vikings, the history show.
No.
She's just like a warrior, princess, badass
Okay.
lady.
Yeah.
That I think could, you know.
No, yeah,
But
I
looks
just-
like a nice queen. But you know.
Yeah, I just need perfection. That's all I need.
If I could tap
Emma
to
Frost.
download, then I would show it to you. But
That's
I don't
okay.
care. Doesn't matter. Oh, sure. Shall we do Jubilee?
Sure.
Even though I just said don't bring in people from the other friends that were already in it, Lana Condor should get a chance to do it again.
I figured too.
Let her do it.
Listen, I looked up, I was like, Lana Condor in X-Men, and it was like all scenes. That video was literally less than 45 seconds.
That's so awful.
Lana
It's-
Condor was so pumped to be Jubilee, guys. There's like stories of her like going and buying like all the Jubilee comics, like reading up, researching the fuck out of this. And what do they have her do? Like literally stand in front of an arcade game and walk out of a movie theater.
She was so disrespected.
It was.
Red is not a flavor. Ask, can you race with Mystique too? She's blue,
Yeah.
so yes.
Yeah,
like
100%.
she shapeshifts,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, she could be anyone.
And that's the other thing too that I always thought about Mystique. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense for one person to be Mystique.
That's true.
I don't know if this is going to be a thing where it's like any number of people could be Mystique because, again, is that a mocap performance? Is that going to be a thing? Because what I know of Mystique is that she's always blue, and then she always looks like a villain because she has a belt of skulls like wrapped around her waist. So she's super duper villain, and she's literally just villaining about, looking like that. And so this whole like her hiding to like she only uses her powers to really infiltrate, and then she lives her life, you know, as herself, you
Yeah.
know, as a fucking
As a
terrorist.
blue person.
I say
Yeah.
it should be Doug Jones.
Doug Jones. Yeah, there you go. Why
Doug
not?
Jones can do anything.
Yeah, he
okay?
could mock out the performance,
Doug
yeah.
Jones could be
Yeah.
Jean Grey for all I fucking care. Like he can do anything. Okay, so do
And he needs a
not.
job.
Yes. Yeah. So I just think that yeah, there's a lot of interesting possibilities with Mystique.
I agree. I think it would be cool. I think that would be a cool one to have, like a person who does the mocap performance and the voice, you know, and then you just
Or even
whenever
if you
see
did
whoever.
want to, okay, because listen, the makeup is a lot. We can all
Yeah.
agree to that. Whether or not mocap has come far enough for us to just go ahead and do away with the makeup, I don't know about that. Then again, I'm not in visual effects. I'm also not in makeup. So I don't know. I don't
Right.
know what the better option here is. I just only hope that there are extensive screen tests happening right now over at Marvel where they can decide if they are going to be including Mystique, or if they just decide to go ahead and just be like, that's Mystique back there. Okay, great. In all honesty, I don't want any one of these characters to be the star. I want this to be a pure
Of an ensemble.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's where I'm at. Did we get through everybody?
No.
No, we did not. We did not. There's more people.
Rogue. Okay.
Oh, Gambit.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
I didn't put his name in here, but he exists in the world. I gave you his picture, so as long as you have him, Gaspard Ulliel.
Yes.
That's my Gambit.
Here's my thing.
Uh-huh.
I ran into his name a lot during my research. I didn't look up any videos of him. So
Oh.
what does he sound like? Can he act?
He can act.
Okay, good.
I think he tends to, but he tends to do like British stuff, but he also can do accents. Like he's done like Les Mis and done like French, accent, and
Okay.
he's done like an American accent.
Okay.
So he's very versatile.
Okay.
And so that's why because I'm like, who the fuck can do a Cajun accent? That's like believable.
Okay, here's the thing. There are a lot of people that are just like, I can do a Southern accent, and it's like, oh shit,
Right. It's got to
Don't-
be.
that's not
Hello.
like. Okay, first off, the South is not a monolith. There
Right.
are a lot of different accents. Like I'm speaking in a Southern accent right now, but none of you know that because you don't know what Florida accents sound
Right.
like.
And also, don't really consider Florida the South.
Exactly, but it's literally the southern. It was in the Confederacy. It's the fucking South, dude. Like it's the southernmost state in the Union. But yeah, and even like the southern accents, there's a lot of different variations between even just in that region between Cajun and Creole and actual straight, debutante, that light Georgia, the
Right.
one that everyone kind of associates with Blanche Devereaux. Like there's a lot of different accents going on there, and I just feel like whoever's gonna take that, do your fucking homework.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
That's all.
Someone who's serious about specificity.
If you do want to hear a really great Cajun accent, this is a little bit of a tangent. Deepwater Horizon, because it happened in the Gulf of Louisiana and the Gulf of Mexico. Pretty much everybody on board is born and raised in that region, the characters that they're playing. So there's a lot of really great Cajun, accent work going on there. So if anybody is ever interested in, what a Cajun accent is supposed to sound like,
Check that one out.
Yeah, if you're not pulling up actual videos of people
So
from
you're
the
saying
area,
don't watch the first season of True Blood?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Absolutely.
Huh? I said mine. She
I
hasn't said
didn't
hers.
say- yeah.
He's right there though.
Yeah, this dude. I'm so sorry. I keep on forgetting.
You're
his
like, what
name.
is his name?
Sorry, Drew Van Acker.
All
Drew
right.
Van Acker. He's one of these former CW stars that's now on network TV.
Oh,
He
okay.
was on
He
Pretty Little
graduated.
Liars. Yeah, he was on Pretty Little Liars. He's now on the Training Day TV show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is the one that I'm a little iffy about. He's more as what he symbolizes, which is I need Gambit to be a hot piece of ass.
Right.
I need Gambit to just be so unbelievably good looking that you're just like, I don't need to be doing anything with you whatsoever, but you're so charming that I'm going to go ahead and make bad decisions with you, okay? That's the kind of person that I need. I think your choice is great for that. I think my choice visually is great
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
I don't know if Drew can actually carry off the Cajun accent.
Right. You're like,
but
can you do it?
he's more, I picked him more in the spirit of what
In the spirit.
he
Yeah.
represents.
I like it. I like
need
it.
Kevin Feige to just bring me a hot piece of ass. I can just be like, yeah, that is 100% the person that I had my first childhood crush on. Because I definitely did have a childhood crush on the animated Gambit. Because do you know what the first line he says in that series is?
I do not.
He's all right. So they're all on the ball. He's buying playing cards because of course he is because he's
course he is.
Gambit.
Of course.
And then the girl's flirting with him. And he's like, I'll take these. And she's like, you must like to play cards. And he's like, I like solitaire, okay. Unless I got someone to play with.
Oh.
He literally says that
Smooth
in a
operator.
fucking kids show. I'm like, are you kidding me? How dare
They were talking about card games, Tony.
No, they
what are
weren't.
you talking about?
No, in fact, he wasn't talking about that. That's not what he was talking about.
Jared said that he'd cast Jensen Ackles, and I'm like, I see it, but I'm also like, he's
Too
been,
old.
yeah,
Too
exactly.
old.
He's been in Supernatural for his entire life now.
Too old.
I can't.
No, I need Gambit to be firmly
Right,
late
in the
20s,
younger, yeah, in the
like-
younger side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was gonna be my Emma Frost, Catherine Winnick. That's her. That's her face. She is very beautiful. Anyway, moving on.
All right, so Rogue.
Oh my God, last one. Okay, so this one.
Yes, tell me.
Okay. In my brain, I was like, I want there to be a crossover with X-Force.
Okay.
And then for them to be like, where's Domino? I'm like, oh, she can't be here right now because she's Rogue. So Zazie Beetz as Rogue is what I want.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I picked Suki Waterhouse again
Oh.
for what she represents.
Yeah.
Just okay. So honestly, when I was like thinking about like who is Rogue supposed to be, and I don't want to do this whole Anna Paquin Rogue origin thing where she's like an unsure runaway. Like, no, I want fully formed,
Right.
like saucy bombshell that knows you want to touch her, but you can't because you'll fucking die. Like I want,
Femme fatale.
yeah, I want that, but just a sweetheart because she knows that like I don't want to touch you, I don't,
Right,
want
I don't
to,
want you to die.
but I know because of what I look like you want to because you're a fucking asshole and you don't know how to keep your hands to yourself.
Wow, this is a really long inner monologue she's having.
It is.
It's hard. It's hard being a
because-
woman.
I'm sorry. I have to believe that if you're walking around like that, like looking the way that she does, it's sort of like a Jessica Rabbit situation where it's like, I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Get the fuck away from me. But so I picked Suki Waterhouse. I wanted someone that was hot. I wanted someone that was gorgeous. I wanted someone that really reminded me a lot of a younger Scarlett Johansson.
But okay, no, I won't say it.
Okay. No, but I definitely want a bombshell. But we don't cast females to be bombshells anymore. We cast them to be like pouty. You know, like no disrespect to the cast of Riverdale, but you were cast to be
Pouty.
because you know you need the reaction shot because you make for great reaction shots. Because pout as you stare off into the distance. Like no, I need someone that's going to be able to like look like she is in full control of her body.
Okay, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, is
I like
very
it.
self-possessed, has come to terms with the fact that like she's got these powers and she's just got to make the best of it, and she's in a position to actually do something good with it, which is what we never got with Anna Paquin and what went so wrong with that character, just because they were still fixated on the whole like, oh no,
It was like they had her like teenage like first love, like the blossom of
No, I need her to be in her early to mid 20s to just be like, all right, this is what it is.
The
This
girl from
fucking
13 Reasons
sucks.
Why? Are you talking about Catherine, the Australian girl? Red is not a flavor? Interesting. I mean, in a couple of years maybe.
I
Because
think
right now I
she's
think
a
she's
little
still
too
young.
willowy,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
willowy.
Again, I need someone that looks like Scarlett Johansson, not just in her face, but in her body. I need someone that's just like, we don't cast curvy women anymore because they're curvy. Even Scarlett Johansson, we were kind of like just content to just put her in spandex and that was it until they were like, no, she'll go ahead and act the fuck out of this and go ahead and go do these really weird indie films that nobody watches because you're just like, all right, this is a far departure from what we know you for, but she's really great in them. But I need someone who like looks sexy first but can act the fuck out of it. Whether or not Suki can do that, I don't know, but I got you for your face. So, I'm sorry. I believe that you can act. I just haven't seen enough of your work yet to assess that. I'm so sorry.
A thick Southern woman. Yeah,
Yes.
There you go.
I need someone that just looks like, if you were just like, oh no, like these asshole guys are just gonna be sniffing around her. Why? Because they don't know how to keep their fucking hands to themselves.
So that every scene can be like the Captain Marvel scene where she steals his bike.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, is she a villain?
Literally every scene.
Is
no,
she a villain?
no, literally every scene that Rogue has, like in those first two cartoon movies, like the cartoon series, literally everyone is just like a guy just trying to like, oh hey sweetie, and then they touch her and
And
they're
then-
just like
Yeah,
comatose.
I love that.
And
love
it's like,
that.
yeah, keep your hands to yourself.
You know who actually? She already played this role, so that's why I'm just thinking about her. What is? I literally just forgot her name. You know Misfits? Have you seen Misfits, the British show? You know what I'm talking about? Alicia. Yeah. What is the actress's name? She's on The Good Doctor now.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because that was literally the character that she played. Like she literally like if you like she couldn't touch you or you would die.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So she literally played
Okay.
like Rogue, but it was. Anyway, I can't remember her
Catherine
name.
Langford could be transformed.
Her body can be remade. It's true. It can be.
She can be Bionic Woman then when
Yes.
they surely reboot that again. Hey guys.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Mandy Perez.
What? Antonia Thomas. Jesus Christ, that's her
Is
name.
my boy
Antonia
Knight-
Thomas. That's her name. But she's
She's
British, so it wouldn't work.
beautiful.
But that
No,
kind
but
of
she's-
idea is what
okay,
I'm like.
again, if you can do,
Yeah.
if you can pull off a Southern accent, and you're supposed to be from Georgia, or no, she's supposed to be from Mississippi.
From
sorry.
Mississippi, yeah. It's a different Southern accent.
It is a different Southern accent. You guys just don't know. Anyways, Blackwing asks, is my boy Nightcrawler on the list? No,
Oh.
unfortunately not. He
I
was not
cast
put on the
someone as
list.
Nightcrawler.
I would just, here's my thing. We did such a great job about like just plucking people out of like relative obscurity and now they're household names. Like Tom
That's true.
Holland. We were all like, who the Who's Tom Holland?
Yeah, exactly. So really, it could be anyone, like people we don't know yet that
And
have
that's
that potential.
pretty much like ultimate. Like this is all for funsies, but in all reality, I'm like, just go ahead and bring me somebody. I know that you guys do excellent casting work. Just bring me.
And I think it's also like sometimes it's better when you don't have preconceived
Yes.
notions about that actor. Like they
Yes.
come in and then they really can be that character for you.
Correct. 100%. And even Robert Downey Jr., we all are just like, oh, the billionaire Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, that dude was not working when he was first cast as Iron Man. Like, people forget that. Chris Evans, he was Johnny Storm. People were like, that douchebag, you're going to make him Captain America? People did not fucking like that at all. And then Mark Ruffalo, they were just like, Mark Ruffalo is great, but they were just like, in a superhero movie?
Yeah.
Like all, and then Chris Hemsworth, he was an Australian soap star. He
That's
was
right.
on
He didn't really do
Australia's
anything
Dancing
that
with
we
the
know
Stars.
of before Thor.
He was just a dude. He was right before he got his break as playing George Kirk.
George Kirk.
In
Oh,
the
that's
Star
right.
Trek.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That
He
was
was
the
like the dad.
And that was it.
He had like that one scene, but he looked good.
He did.
He looked good.
He looked like Captain America. It
Yeah.
was crazy. But no, I if we're doing this for real, I'm just like I believe and trust in what Kevin Feige and the guys over there are doing, and I think whoever they're going to bring me is going to be amazing. And even when it doesn't go well, when they have to recast, it's pretty good. Even though I really like Terrence Howard as Rhodey,
Yeah.
I did.
But
I have
Don
no
Cheadle, like,
complaints
yeah.
about Don Cheadle.
When I just like think of like now, I'm like when I think of Rudy, I think of Don Cheadle. Like,
Yeah,
so
of course.
it's, you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, first of all, Chris Evans did a great job on Human Torch. Yes, he did. Nobody is debating
It's not
that.
his fault.
It's just that Johnny Storm
Yeah.
could not be more diametrically opposed.
Opposed to Captain America.
Could not be more different.
Well,
yeah.
I guess that's that on that. That's our
that
fan
it?
cast.
voting, so you
Yeah.
both win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we both win. Participation awards are real. Yay!
No, how many people did we choose that were like we had at least
We had like
two.
3 that were the same.
Three?
We had like 3
Yeah.
that were the same. Yeah, Jubilee,
Yeah.
Storm, and Jean Grey.
Yes.
That's right.
So all the women.
So we just mind melded.
Can we talk about how Marvel has finally gotten back all of their A-list female talent?
Yes.
Whenever people were bitching and moaning about the lack of female representation,
they're all
in
in
the MCU,
X-Men.
I'm like, well, of course they're not there because they're all over at Fox. Literally all their A-list talent, even their B-list talent. I mean, like, there's just a ton of characters, female characters, and if we had to do a count for count, I would not be surprised if there were more female X-Men than there are male X-Men, just because there's so many great characters, and especially now,
X-woman.
huh?
Yes, we call them X-women because they're
excuse
always
me.
saving the men.
X-women.
So X-women.
Oh my God, that movie. I can't. Okay, guys, we went to go see Dark Phoenix, and I had to sit by Tatiana. And it was great because she kept on giggling throughout the entire movie because she couldn't believe what she was seeing and hearing. It was so great.
It's just so much happened.
It was a lot.
in front of my face.
It was a lot. And ultimately, I was like, it's over. It's over. Oh my God.
Celebrate good
If you
times.
guys ever want to see a great online movie review, go look up Jeremy John's, his review of the last 50 Shades of Grey movie, because he's literally just like so excited that the trilogy is over. He's literally got silly string, bing, 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 bing. And it's like, yeah, that's
50
pretty
Shades.
much how I felt at the end of Dark Phoenix. But yeah.
So yeah, y'all feel free to leave your, your fan casts and characters like Shadowcat if you wanted to add them.
What are we going to talk about next week, Jezzer?
Probably. Usually that stuff happens like
Yeah.
the week of. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about whatever comes out.
But we've got a lot to talk about.
What news came out? There's some news that came out.
Well, not only that, but it's like Comic-Con is just around
Yeah,
the corner,
Comic-Con's around the corner.
guys, and you know, con season is in full effect. I know Justin's at Kaiju Con right now.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be a lot to talk about in the next week. We don't know what yet, but you guys should definitely show up.
You guys should probably go see X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Give it some money.
Okay,
It's
Blackwing
poor.
did ask, what is your dream team X-Men roster? I would love to see a fully fledged, like, do you guys remember the Pride of the X-Men pilot from the 80s when Wolverine was Australian for all of like 10 seconds? And it was, and there was the tie-in arcade game, and it was the
Right.
shit. And so it was like Dazzler, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, Cyclops, Australian Wolverine. Did I already say him?
Australian Wolverine.
What makes them Australian?
No, literally.
He was Australian.
No, have you not seen Pride of the X-Men? It was a pilot that they made to try to sell a new X-Men cartoon series, but in the 80s. This is before X-Men animated in the 90s. All right. So
Okay.
the voice actor who plays Wolverine, he's Australian. He plays him with an
Is he?
Australian accent.
Oh, okay.
And this is when he's not in the blue and the yellow spandex. He's in the what is it? The orange and the brown, the rust. The rust.
So did they fix that by casting Hugh Jackman and then giving him an American accent?
It was so great.
Or a Canadian
I
accent?
always listen. I always love when we can bring just the revolving cast of characters.
Yeah.
And because Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm. Those are the three that are usually always there, right? But Colossus, Dazzlers.
Yeah. Like we were talking before this show, we were talking about having like a school or an anthology where the
Yes.
characters can come in and out and we see different.
My dream roster would just be an revolving door characters. It would be the Disney Plus series where we can have at least 3 seasons of just students and teachers, and not only that, but Alpha Force and Excalibur and X Force and just like all these characters. I mean, I want to see
And then just like
everybody.
concentrate on different people
Yeah.
at different times.
I want to see John Proudstar, and I want him to not die by the 3rd episode or the 3rd issue because that's what happens.
But
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird. Yeah.
So Giant Size X-Men #1, that was also like my first introduction, and it was like Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Banshee, Sunfire for all of the one mission because he hates Americans, rightfully so. Who else was there? John Proudstar, who is Apache, and
John Proudstar was on The Gifted.
yes.
was he?
He was the main character.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The
Great.
main character.
Okay, but in the
But
comics,
yeah, he was one of the main characters.
he
yeah.
literally dies by the 3rd issue that he's in. He's only in it for 3
War
issues.
Pratt's brother, right?
Yes.
Older brother.
Yes, correct. And I just was like, this is a great, great team. And then, nope.
But definitely include Psylocke so that she can finally
Psylocke,
get
there's so many
treated
great
right.
characters. And even,
Cass Lana Condor's Jubilee.
Cass Lana Condor's Jubilee. Deadly Class got canceled, so she needs a
Say
job.
Deadly Class, you guys are morons.
I can't believe they sent them to WonderCon and they just like made its wait like 2 months after that, and they're like, okay, it's gone now. I was like, what was the point? What was the point?
You're so cool.
Yeah.
no, but I would love a full series. I would just love like at least 15 or so like students. Because I mean, there's a lot of really.
I thought you were going to say 15 or so seasons.
No,
just 15
No,
seasons.
like actual like prominent
Yeah.
students, and then like another like 10 or so prominent like adult actors that
Yeah.
are just like interspersed with each other, and like we're interacting, we're seeing it. It's going to be a production,
Right.
and that's I think the thing why people don't really want to jump into an X franchise because they're just like it's not just
There's
one or
so
two
much.
of you, it's a lot of you, which
Yeah.
is why also if I'm truth be told, I don't know if the wisest thing is to go ahead and roll in the X-Men into the MCU. There's so many characters. We get crazy when there's like 22 Avengers in this movie. That's it? That's it? Because I'm sorry, I'm used to reading
Yeah.
comics and enjoying these stories where there's like at least like 30 or some characters throughout a huge arc, and it's like people are coming in and out. People are just like, hey guys, remember me? Because I also exist in this timeline too. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people in play. So I just want someone who cares about the X-Men to actually make an X-Men project. That's all I want.
Yeah, and that's. I guess we're gonna have to find out to see who that it's gonna be. 'cause-
Please let it be Kevin Feige. Do you know that's why Hugh Jackman had his hair actually look like Wolverine in the first movie?
Oh, really?
Because apparently he was like an assistant of somebody at that point back in 2000. He was just somebody's not even assistant, but just like they were like, go make sure they're not fucking this up. And he shows up, and it's like they're like, no, you gotta like fluff it up, and it's got to be like this whole like swooping thing. And he's like, showing them pictures, and they're just like, okay, are you sure?
So Kevin Feige made
Kevin
this happen.
Feige is
made
the
this
guy
happen.
who was in the hair
That's
trailer
awesome.
with Hugh Jackman
That's
saying like,
awesome.
no, telling the
Yeah.
the hair person like, no, it's got to be like.
So see, he does care.
He does care.
He does
and
care.
I again, I just don't want him to like just get so full of himself that he just decides to shit the bed on this one.
Right.
Because that would be horrifying to me. That would just be like, well,
The
there's-
bed has been shat enough.
I know.
Let us make it anew.
I just went to a place of just drama. Sorry. But I think we're done for this.
Yeah, I think that
Jess.
we've X-mened out.
Yes.
So,
Tatiana's Cyclops choice.
wait, what about my Cyclops choice? Yeah, I know his eyes. Yes, but that's why, like, when you see it, it's like that Florence and the Machine song, where it's like no light, in your bright blue eyes. I never knew daylight could be so violent.
Yeah.
That's what we'll play every time he takes his
Obviously,
visors
because we
off.
were all thinking that. I know that's what we were all thinking of.
Y'all aren't on my level. That's why you weren't thinking it.
Obviously not. But anyways, tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me at Marcella's Ear on.
And we put it down there because it's very hard to spell.
Yes, it's very hard to spell. Marcella's Ear.
I like it.
On Twitter and Instagram, although there's no reason for you to find me on Instagram. And I will retweet all my things. And obviously, come back here every week so you can see us talk about superhero news and or box office showdowns.
Yeah, because that's fun. No, but you guys can find me on all the social medias at the Toni Sanchez, and that's Toni with an I, Sanchez with a Z. Jezzer, where do they find you at?
He's not really here.
Jezzer's not here.
He's
It's
a ghost.
Yeah. There's nobody here. We're talking to
We're talking to
nobody.
ourselves, yeah.
Yeah.
We just, ever since Daniel and Jezzer passed, we just keep them with us in our
That's
hearts
sad.
and see them in our eyelids.
That was tragic. Just a horrible molasses
It
accident.
really was.
Like, who knew that molasses could do that to a human body?
I did not know.
I didn't.
No, we learned something new that day.
But it's forever etched in my brain, in my mind. Anyways. But thanks, guys, so much for hanging out with us.
Yes.
And we will see you next week
Yes, and come back to #show for everything trending.
in Geek Pop Culture.